Hi guys, welcome to this episode of the Self-Love Power Podcast, powered by Sal's Epiphany Studio in partnership with Startup Kano, Vogue Garden, MMR Bookshop, supported by the Unshackled. Looking for that comfy space where you can connect to the most inspiring, enlightening, and extremely relatable topics on personal growth. We've got you covered right here on Self-Love Power Podcast. So today's guest is someone that I'm very sure all of you have heard, but many people haven't seen.
True. Very true.
So they call him Mr. MEGGA with the double G.
Hello.
Welcome to this episode of the Self-Love Power Podcast.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling?
Well, besides the fact I had to wake up early.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, I get one of those things. It feels really good. This is the very first time I'll have to do something like this.
Really?
Yeah, because we are comfortable being,
Behind.
exactly, not seen, but yeah, being in front of the camera, kind of like trippy.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, but it's okay. We'll do just fine. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for bringing me on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy that you saw my DM, you replied,
Yeah.
and you were really interested in coming.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for being here.
Not a problem. A pleasure.
First of all,
Dun, dun. Yeah.
Your name,
Okay.
Mr. MEGGA.
Yeah.
Why?
Now, it's a good question, and it's a question that normally takes me back to, the roots of where everything started. I try to let people know that, I try to let people understand, if you have been following my story, I pick bits and pieces from every phase of my life. First things first, I actually started off a rapper. Yes, I was pretty decent with the microphone. I'm still decent now, but then maybe in a different.
Maybe at the end you do some.
I'm always. Matter of fact, you're gonna give me words and then I'll just go off the top. Yeah, that should be fun.
let's try. So I don't forget.
Okay. Like right now. Oh, hit me. Let's go.
Money.
I got money, man. I want to spend it. Bottom line, it be so long that you can end it. Yeah, I feel good, man. It's blended. So when it's time for me to make that cheddar almost sanded, I'm the best one to tap that money. I get O's, everybody, and the slash this honeys, and the girls just want to kiss me and hug me. Yes, they want to love me. Yeah, little something. Thanks. Yeah.
I didn't know you do.
I did. I was back then in school in BUK. There was a need for me to express myself. I don't know, and I realized that I was a bit comfortable putting words down. It wasn't like I was an art student or I was into literature and all of that stuff.
What did you study?
But I studied mechanical engineering. Ooh, yeah, they get that way anytime I tell them. Yeah. So it felt like, it wasn't like putting a round peg in a square hole, by the way, but I just realized that there was something else that I could be doing. So I started scripting. Anyways, I started writing way before I got into BUK. But when I got into BUK, I kind of like perfected the skill. So I started writing, and then I came up with the name, MEGGA. Very interesting is the fact that I actually put two words together, core and mega. Core, mega. It's a complex process.
It is.
Sal's, follow me. All right, two words, right? Core and then mega. Like 1,000,000 times to the core. Like I wanted people to see me like I was like,
Like original. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
authentic.
Like you're not gonna get. I'm not willing to sing. I'm not ready to mix. It's just gonna be hardcore.
Nothing realer than that.
Nothing realer than that, girl. I like that. So I put two words together, core and mega, and then I realized that I didn't like how the name sounded together, core, mega. People didn't quite get how to pronounce
Sounds
it.
like one word.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, let's change it and switch it up. I want to be able to explain to people how I came up with it, and not people just say, okay, core and mega. So I changed the car. I wanted it to pronounce car. Not the car you drive, but then CAH.
Okay.
So I put it CAH for the core, and then MEGA. I said, look, it's not the regular mega. Let's make it unconventional. Exactly.
Double G.
So I added an extra G so you don't feel like it's just a million, mega million. Okay, yeah. The extra G is me. Mega is 1,000,000. The extra G is me. You dig? So that's how the name came, MEGGA. Thank you. I mean, so much science went into the name, yeah? Like so much movements and
So
all of
many
that.
things. It
So
has,
many
like, its
things.
own history.
Exactly. So after a while, I realized that, you know, back then in school, people started calling me Mega, 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 Mega.
It
People,
was so much easier.
it was
to
easier.
call.
And I was like, yo, I thought about it and I was like, yo, why was I making it that complex? I should have easily called it, I should have called myself Mega. Like, start, yeah, like, okay, just call me Mega. I mean, it's easy. You know, back then we wanted a name that would be, you know, dope and stuff.
All this back then people.
Exactly. We have problems.
19 watts.
Yeah, you know. And then I realized, no, that was in 2012. 2011, 2012.
How old are you, Mr. Naga?
I'm a teenager. I mean,
If you're a teenager,
I'm 18.
I'm not born yet.
Okay, I'm a couple years old. Yeah, so
I think it was women that didn't like to ask.
yeah, nah, not really. Well, I'm young.
Attack.
Matter of fact, anytime I'm plus one, I feel like I'm younger.
Really?
Yeah, I do feel younger. Yeah, but I'm okay. I'm of age. So I got the name, and then people started calling me Mega, Mega, Mega. And then I realized that I was recording songs. People wanted to, Mega, perform this song, Mega. And I was like, well, this is really cool. So I switched the name before dropping music because I'm no longer active. So I switched the name to just Mega. So the last couple of songs that I recorded back then, I used Mega as the name. Yeah, so it was only obvious. I mean, the name was building so much buzz in town and outside the city as well. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? We'll talk about how, of course, I got into radio and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
so
let's step back a bit. I
step
want
back
to
a
know
bit.
where
So
you're from.
yeah, so Mega. That's how the name came about. I'm from Edo State. Yeah,
My brother. Oh.
you dig that?
Oh.
I mean, the sister brother connection is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could easily pass off as being Ghanaian because of my skin color.
That's my other.
Are you serious now?
Serious.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this
Really?
is a sister brother thing to the core.
You know, my teammate was asking me this morning, where are you from?
Oh wow.
And I was like, you're definitely Yoruba. And I was so confident.
Ooh, no. Yeah, I get that sometimes. I get the Yoruba sometimes. I get Hausa. Yeah, weird as it may sound. Yeah, some people meet me and be like, bro, you from the... okay, not like Hausa. They be like, you're from the north. And I tell them, nah. Yeah, I'm like, no. I'm like, when they hear that I've been in the north for a couple years, they be like, oh, you guys from there? And I'm like, nah.
So you're back
I'm
and
from,
front, Edo.
Yeah, when you say back and front, like both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom is from, my dad is from Sabugida Ora. My mom is from Ekpoma. So I'm both ways, yeah. But I've been in Kano for, you know,
how did you come to Kano?
quite a good number of times. Wow, that's another big one. Now, we all didn't see it coming as kids, you know, and Pops had to be moved around every now and then. And he was not the type who liked taking us with him. He was very particular about education. Like, you can't go to school and not be first in your class now. You will chop knocks and chop slaps. As far as my dad is concerned, like, that was the only thing that was major for him. So he would normally tell my mom, look, I don't like moving the kids around. Let them stay back in Benin. But he was moving around a lot, and then he realized that he was going to be in Kano for an extended period. Yeah. So he traveled down to Kano, and then he had a conversation with my mom. There was a need for us to, you know, come meet him here. My mom had to resign from where she was. She was working with the Edo State government at the time. So she had to drop the job, and then that's how we relocated. Yeah, we came to Kano. That's a trick question. Nice one, Salz.
It has nothing to do with that.
The way she threw it in there, like, let me see what's up with this dude. Let me just throw it up here. You know, so.
No, I just wanted to know how much it would have impacted you. Maybe you can just simply say, I was a child, I was a teenager.
Thank you very much for giving me the right way to answer the question. I was young. I was little, basically, and it was still tough because at the time, at some point, we had to go back to Benin.
Again?
Yeah, we're going back and forth, I think like twice, 3 times, 2-3 times, thereabout, before we finally, you know, settled in. But I think I was in primary. Actually, I think I was in primary school at the time. I should be in primary 3 or 4 maybe. Yeah, thereabout. So we came in here, and it's been here all through.
How did it feel like transitioning from Edo to Kano, which is totally different ways of life?
That's a very good question. Now, I was little, but every now and then we always ask our mom and have a conversation with Pops and tell him, yo, what was it like back then? But I can recall that it was super cold. and we're staying somewhere around Nasajari, where you have, I don't want to mention the names right now. Oops. But it was close by. I still see the house today.
Yeah.
Like I go by after many years.
It's still there.
It's still there. Kano State Library.
Yeah.
Where you have the Kano State. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where my dad was.
Wow.
And I remember back then it was really cold because my mom was particular about having us have
Sweaters,
jackets and it felt like we're in Moscow. Like I saw some of our old pictures and I was like, where do you have us dressed this way? You know? And I recall mom saying there were mosquitoes as well. I mean, right now I'm used to mosquitoes in Kano.
Yeah.
But back then it was tough for her to make that adjustment because where we're coming from.
There are no
Yeah, and then I was the third boy, the third child. So I had younger ones. So she had to ensure that, we were protected basically. That was one. Number two, I think it was tough to make friends.
Why?
Because of the language barrier. It was difficult to make friends, and my dad is the sit at home, you get everything at home kind of dad. He's not the type of dad that tells you you're free to go play football outside. Nah, he'll be pissed off at you if he finds you outside and when he's back from work. And because he works in a bank, he had this structured way of life. Like, I don't want to see you outside at this time. I don't want to see you playing. Because he felt like we could be influenced. And he really wanted to have control of how we interact, how we think, So it was mainly, he taught us how to be friends with each other, my brothers.
Oh, and that's good.
Well, sounds...
It's good, but it's
kudos to Pops, yeah. Maybe, yeah, kudos to him. There's a good side and then there's the bad side.
Definitely.
Yeah, the good side is that, you're closer to your siblings. Yeah, I mean, we're 5. He supervises us when we play football. In the compound, he tells us, look, okay, what do you need? You need a ball. There you go. What do you need? What else do you need? You need a net. There you go. And then he tells us, look, this is how you play. He told me, I'm in the middle. So he says, look, you have 2 elder brothers. Yes, you have 2 kid brothers. Yes. Okay, so what you do is you be like the substitute. So you have 1 elder brother playing with my immediate younger brother. And then I have my immediate elder brother playing with the last of the house. Does that make sense?
You're just
Yes. Yeah, so I can do substitutions. When they score this post, you have to substitute and tell the other person, okay, be the referee and all that. So he had a way of managing everything within us, right? And the good thing, like I said, you bond with your brothers, you understand them, you guys share so much together. But the bad side is, I wouldn't say you were socially awkward, but then again, it's difficult for you to blend in when you go out.
Yeah.
So I think that affected me.
Totally understand.
Yeah, it did. And I think the only way I was able to battle that was school. I mean, it takes us to school.
What school did you?
I attended Air Force Primary School. Yeah, here in Kano.
I thought Air Force was for people that don't.
That are in the. Well, I do not ban Ajum Magana. Okay. Yeah, so maybe Air Force is perfect. Kids, don't be like me. The school was hardened, and my dad loved the idea of, molding kids and being hard on kids. The school was hard on kids, number one, and the school was really structured. So he felt, and my elder brother attended the school when we're in Benin. He had a little affiliations here and there. So he said, look, when he came to Kano, the first thing he asked was like, do you have an Air Force Primary School in this town? And when they told him yes, he said, look, boom. I mean, it's far. We had to go from Nasara GRA, Amadu Bello Way to Airport Road to the far end.
I think that's Fege, wow.
Yeah, it's really like, okay, the airport, right? That's where we had to go every single day. And he did not have a problem with it. He said, look, there's a driver to pick you. I will get my driver. He gets you. You guys have to be ready. So 7 a.m. we're ready in the morning. He was doing this and he never complained a single day. So yeah, it kind of like made me, I really, and in all honesty, it was tough for me because number one, the language was there. I can only remember one neighbor that we had, Musbao. I don't know where he is today, but shout outs to him.
He helped you.
Yo, Sals, we broke the law. Yo, Pops, if you see this, I apologize. Okay, I had a time.
It's like this is where he wanted you to go, and then you were.
Yeah, you know how it is when as a child when you're being
restricted a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
You turn out to want to do all those things.
Sals, you're constantly thinking, why is Pops not wanting me to go here? What does he want me to see? Let me see what it is. And it's not like we're not breaking the law. We just wanted to explore, and we're all boys.
5 of you.
Yeah. So there's a now we want to be out there,
What would try do?
Yeah. So yeah, shouts to her. She's still trying today, but still trying by the way today because it's a whole lot.
You went to BEK.
Yeah. I mean, my dad became a huge fan of Kano. I don't know how that happened, but he actually told my mom he was not going to stay here for long. Like he felt like something could move him away, but for some weird reasons he was like, you know what, I don't think I want to move again. So he became like, we got here, and then he was like, you know what, you guys, like, everybody's going to be here. And then we got to a point where we felt, okay, maybe secondary school, something will move or something will change. Nope.
But it didn't.
It didn't. He still allowed us here. And then it was time for a tertiary institution. Boom, we applied. Now, you start applying different places. You start with Uniband, thinking that maybe when you get the admission, Pop's going to be like, oh, okay. It was my elder brother, man. He got the admission in Uniband, and my dad said, nope.
Really?
I'm telling you. He said, nah, like, he was giving so many reasons. My elder brother was telling me, like, look, get ready, man. You are going to BUK. He just told me beforehand, like, don't get too excited. If you got friends who are in other parts of the country, maybe telling you, Papa, what's up now? Come around. Like, get ready. I don't think Pops is willing to,
so you just
get you out there. Yeah, I mean, I applied. Of course, my elder brother was there at the time. So he told me, I didn't even disturb myself even applying for any other. I just put first choice, second choice, BK.
And then they just give it to you.
Yeah, I didn't get admission via JAM. I had to go to the pre-degree program, remedial at the time. Yeah, that was what I did. So I applied, and then they gave me, I didn't get it through the whole, my goodness, I pieces JAM. 251 was no joke. I tried.
You really tried.
I tried, but for some weird reasons they said,
Did you hear the JAM scores for this year?
How were they terrible? They were terrible, right? Oops, y'all ain't reading. It was horrible. Now here we go.
I heard there are people scoring less than 100.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way life is now. There's so much social media, so much distraction.
That and
then the COVID came.
Yeah, I mean, education has been largely obstructed over the last couple of years. I mean, even before COVID, we're still battling with out-of-school children because of insecurity and everything. And then COVID came and made matters worse. Yeah. As for JAM, are we ready for CBT? That's my concern. Because the reason I'm asking this question, sorry to digress, the reason I'm asking this question is because let's not get carried away by some of us who are fortunate to be in an urban settlement. Let's think about those who are in the rural communities.
Yeah.
How often do they get to interact with a computer? I've seen schools where it's just a single system for the entire school. There's no amount of practice. If you answering questions online is not your daily routine, right, it's going to be tough. And there's very little that parents can do to augment. So it's left for the schools.
Because on the normal, you're writing an exam, you're like freaked out.
Yes.
You're anxious, and then you have to use a tech that you're not using.
Oh my goodness, you've had complaints now. People tell you it's not connecting. And then before you know it, 1 + 1 is 2. But because of the tension, guess what happens? You are seeing 1 + 1, you are clicking 11. Do you understand? So there's so much going on. So I want them to revisit the. Of course, I know that students don't study like it used to be. I know that's a factor.
The benefit of doubt.
And say fix and let us see how well they'll do.
Do you think it's possible to make it hybrid, like to have centers that are in the urban use the CBT, right? And those who can't just do normal paper.
I am buying into that 100%.
JAM, if you're watching,
please. I mean, now is the time when you have to make people comfortable with their reality. So if you can, I know it's going to be tough because nobody wants to go back to manually marking and all of that. Yeah, I mean, but think about it. WAEC still does that. I want to believe it's not CBT just yet. It's not. Yeah. So if WAEC is still doing it, there's a reason why they're doing that. So I don't know. Maybe JAM will consider having, I mean, they were doing the type A, type B, C, type A, B. Yeah. There was a time it was plain, the same question all through. And then they got to a point where they were trying to curb examination malpractice and they had different types. Where you can have a type A, and then your question 11.
I think it's up to type C or D.
Yes, your question 11 could be someone else's question 15. You know, stuff like that. Give them the benefit of that, because some of these kids are. Trust me, I've been to some schools, and it beats me how they are able to learn. Like when I ask them questions and they're telling me, I'm like, wow, hold up. You're able to learn this much here? Like, they're, and it's painful, because those are the kids you need to encourage. Imagine that kid now who's like trying, the little resources that they have, they're trying to still, learn. And then, for example, they go for a CBT jam and then they fail.
Yeah, and then it's not really their fault.
Yes,
Like
they get demoralized. They give it their best shot. So work with what is obtainable where they are. We would want a situation where all schools are CBT.
But for now,
it is next to impossible, Sal's.
Because even the schools don't have the equipment.
They don't have. And you can't, the school will tell you, if you want us to provide this, we're probably going to hike up school fees. So when parents who is struggling to pay, we're trying to encourage kids to go to school, and then you go back to the parents and tell them, you know what, because of computer-based tests now, you have to pay more. Trust me, there's some parents who will be like, you know what, leave it. Yes, come back home. It's sad, it's painful, but that's what it is. Come back home, sit here. Instead of me to spend extra money on you, you make extra money for me. Come sell this and sell, and that is what we are trying to discourage. So I would want them, yes, failure can be as a result of, kids not being steadfast with their studies, but then again, the system has to help them one way or the other. Let them come through for them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So
where were we now?
We are now digressing.
Yes, we are touching so many areas right now.
Yes.
So I think I was trying to talk about you were asking me about BUK, I think.
Yeah. How did that move to Cool FM?
Okay. Ooh. Now, first things first, I would love to say it wasn't Cool FM initially. It was radio. I had no idea where I would work on radio. But back then, here's the thing. I was studying mechanical engineering, and I got to my level 300, and then I saw people getting some record deals and stuff. Yeah, shout out to Classic. Classic that He was done. Quick one. The label that signed Classic was supposed to sign me. Yeah, I want to throw this out there, so in case kids listen carefully. Now, while Classic was done, I think Classic read mathematics in BUK, and he was done with school. He was serving at the time, right? It was perfect for him. They came through, boom, 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 and then I think it was Finesse Entertainment at the time that took him. And I was in my level 300 and 400, and they came.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I was thinking twice, like, okay, whoa, should I drop school?
Your dad would just put you in his head.
Okay, I'm not supposed to be too. Something came to my head right now. I can't. Exactly. I don't want to say. I'm used to radio right now, so you see me. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to hold myself. Yeah. My dad will have like, my goodness, like nothing messes education. Your books are number one. So when Classic was done, I was thinking to myself, yo, it's perfect for him. He's serving. It's going to be like he doesn't have anything bringing him back, to Kano. So I was like, you know what, let me just write this thing out and see where it goes. But trust me, at the time, I love mathematics, I love physics and all that. That's what got me into mechanical engineering. But man, doing it, I realized that maybe this is not what I want to do. I realized it was like in my head, I was doing shows, doing events and all of that. BUK FM at the time came through. They reached out to a couple of us to help, put one or two things in place. I was not very active there because we had mass comm students who wanted to personalize it. Yeah, it's their thing. So I really respected them, though it was some serious issues that, that emanated from that situation. I was like on the outside, I understood when they told us, look, this is not for anybody to just come through and come do your thing. Especially somebody from MEGGA. Yeah, and they'd be like, what does this do? What is this again? And I had the confidence. I was like, yo, no offense though, but if I'm sitting here and you're here, people will most likely listen to me. No offense. I understand that it's your field. No offense
and then they offend you.
I'm just apologizing before. So you know that the offense is coming, Okay. But I'm trying to rub you first before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was like, you know what? I don't want us to be going back and forth over this thing. So I just told them, let's not even start there. Let's let it be. So when I was done with school, I recall I was in Abuja. I can't recall the radio station I was listening to. I can't recall the name of the presenter. But kudos to you, sir. If you're watching this, thank you. Now, it was a mess up. It was a huge mess up on radio. I'd never done radio before. But I was listening in the car, and I was like, yo, this dude is really, really messing up right now. And in the car, I was practicing what he should have done. So I was like, man, this guy would have done it like this. I was like, and it flowed for me. It was natural. So I thought to myself, I said, I wanted to go to the radio station at the time. And man, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just my rapper thing. He just wanted to mess around with me. So I was like, you know what? Forget about it. So I totally forgot about it until I was done. That was towards the end of my service year. I served in Ondo State. So when I was done serving, I did a little stint in Abuja. And then I got back to Kano. People expected me to start doing music again. And at the time, I was getting tired of it. Because number one, it wasn't, music is demanding. It needs your time, it needs your effort, it needs everything. Yeah. Like you have to be submerged in it. Like, no offense to people who do music, you guys are amazing, you guys are doing a great job. At that level of stress, I was not just ready for it. And then you could do all of that, South, and then it so happens that you don't make it. And trust me, at that point in my life, I had to make it. So I was not willing, it had to happen. I was not willing to risk anything. So I got back, I kind of put it in the back seat for a bit. And then I had a conversation with, shout out to Shedrack. I have to mention names of people who...
You've given like 10 shout outs now.
Yes, my bad. I mean, I love to give people their flowers, So I met Shedi, I got back, I met Shedi. Shedi was like, man, but what's up? I was working at an engineering firm at the time. But trust me, it was boring.
Of course.
Boo! I'm sorry if you see this, boo, it was boring.
Please pardon him.
I wasn't allowed to express myself. There's always someone here who tells you you're not allowed to do this. And I felt restricted. And I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. Because there's so many things that bulbs in my head that I just have to get things done. So I felt, I was being restricted. Oh my goodness. And then I felt like I wasn't growing. I was just stuck there. So I was just doing it for, of course, I needed something at the end of the month, to get other things done. So I met Shedrack and I was like, bro, what's good? And he was like, bro, we talked and then he was like, bro, do you know that this is a good radio topic? I was like, man, it was just a random conversation we're having. And I was like, bro, how do I go about, not a bad idea for me to do this on radio. He was like, yeah, cool. So at the time I spoke to him and he told me about Cool Coffee, who's not Nuhu Tahir. I have to give him thumbs up again. That's the greatest
presenter.
Man, that's not even a human being in general. Aww. Really cool. So he told me, I should meet Cool Coffee. That Cool Coffee loves listening to people. Like he listens to you. He knows your strength the moment you meet him.
Yes.
Like I don't know if you met him before.
No.
Oh my God,
I would love to.
You need to have him on here. Matter of fact, I will call him and tell him anytime he's in Kano.
Please.
I need him here because he has a story to tell. So I met him and I told him. He was like, what did he say? Who told you? I said, Shadrach. He said, I don't even know Shadrach, but what's up? And I told him, I said, okay, there's this idea I think I want to do on radio. And at the time he said, oh, are you serious? Yeah, he was like, yeah. He was like, okay, do a recording. He said, do a recording. Yeah, do a recording and send to me. So what I did, I got back home, I got into my little cupboard, created a booth out of it, with my phone, and I did the recording and sent to him. I did the recording that night. He listened and told me, you know what, come to the office the next day. I went to the office the next day. We sat down. He said, look, bro, that was on a Tuesday. And he said, your first show is going to be on Saturday between 6 and 8 p.m.
Wow. That's amazing.
6 and 7 p.m. He said, automatically you have an hour on radio on Saturday. Yo, I was like, is it that easy? Yeah. So he was like, yeah, you don't have the confidence for now to go on live because you don't understand all of the consoles and the movements and everything. So he said, I would produce your first show. So he called me on Wednesday. We sat down. He said, look, he left me in his office because he has a mini studio in the office at the time. And he gave me a microphone. He said, you know what, just express yourself on there. So I just did my thing. So he came back, listened to what I did, chopped it up, and he made an hour show.
How did you feel?
It was the best feeling of my life.
Wow.
Now, that was not the best part. Trust me, the best part was when I heard it on radio. Now, I heard my voice on radio, on Dala FM, and I was like, what in the world? And he ensured that we're driving home together when the show came on. So he said on Saturday we're together. Yeah, we're together. And he said, boom. We said, when is your show supposed to come? He said, I shouldn't worry. He has sent it already. They will play by. I had doubts. I was like, where's this guy? Are you serious, sir? You know, I was just asking questions. No, don't worry. It's ready. And he did an amazing job with the production. So he got me in. We're driving back home. And then 6 p.m., boom, the show came on. I heard my voice. And I was like, okay, now this is what I want to do.
Really?
Yes.
You know, there's this thing of me, sometimes I hate hearing my voice.
Yeah.
But do you have that feeling? Or do you love hearing your voice?
Good point. Now, over the last couple nights, when I started, I enjoyed listening to myself. But then, sometime down the line, you know, I hated it.
Why? Because it's just that...
Yeah, it just, you know, I get uncomfortable. At number two, I would hear something I was supposed to do right, and then it weighs me down. I'd be like, how in the world did I forget to do this? So, but then again, of course, when you grow in the business, you realize that there's a need for you to air check yourself.
What does that mean?
An air check is you having to listen to your shows over again and make slight corrections.
I hardly do that.
Okay, maybe because here's the thing. What you do is you probably have someone who air check you. You don't air check yourself.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you have a professional who listens and tells you, okay, Sals, you're not supposed to say this. You're not supposed to. If you're not comfortable listening to your voice. But I've done air checks at Cool FM to a point where I'm comfortable listening. And trust me, when I hear what I say, I know where I made a mistake. And I realize that you might think that you're killing it on radio. People listen to you. People who listen, of course, they aren't professionals.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. They'd be like, man, Megga, you are killing it. You are the best in the world. You know, but I listen back to what I've done, and I'll be like, nah, I shouldn't have said this. I should say this. Maybe I should have made use of this word. Maybe instead of me talking for 2 minutes, I could have easily said what I needed to say in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So those things made me reduce talk time because attention span is way shorter today.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use 2 minutes to pass a message across,
just use 30 seconds.
30 seconds. And you might never believe that you could use 30 seconds, not until you listen to yourself say what you said for 2 minutes.
And then you're already bored out.
And then you're like, oh my God.
Minute.
Yes. How in the world? So you have to move with the time. So I realized that I love to talk. So there's a possibility that I would maybe overtalk or say the same thing twice. You don't know when you're doing it live because you're saying it goes. You're saying it goes. The only time you can get to listen back is if you have a recording. Because of course at Cool FM everything is recorded. Like we have recordings from the very first day the station opened.
Really?
Yes. So you can simply just pick a date and you go listen to a show that you did 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. Yeah.
That means like you use a lot of
cloud
storage.
It's actually saved on our network. Yeah, from here in Lagos. So it's like we all have partitions for ourselves. So it's saved on the network. So whatever date you're looking for since the station opened, we have a copy. So you listen to yourself basically just to make yourself, better. So that day I drove and then it was 6 p.m. He drove past, but I heard myself. I was excited. I was like, yo, my voice is on radio. Boom, boom, boom. My mom was like, girl. I told my mom that I have to listen to the radio coming on, boom, boom, boom. Couldn't tell Pops because, man, Pops, you know how it is.
On your behalf.
Thank you. It was going to give me, and I couldn't tell Pop. I knew my mom would understand, like, okay, as far as I'm not out there doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, this is what I'm doing. And it's something that she could actually listen to, like, okay, this is where he is, So I realized I loved radio when the show finished, and then I was working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday just for Saturday. I was looking for material all throughout the week. I was like, man, Saturday is going to be here before I know it. Okay, what do I need to do? What? And then Cool Coffee calls and say, you know what? You're not doing it recorded again.
You're going live.
Yeah, I'm going live. I'm like, yo, my heart stopped beating for a minute. I was scared, but I was excited at the same time. I felt like it was a challenge. So the next Saturday I got in. He told me someone was going to show me how to do all the controls and stuff. So I got in there, did my show. It was live. I was sweating. Like the air condition was on, but I was sweat. I was like, and I was just hoping that someone would just come in and say, bro, nice work, man. But there was no one. I was like, yo, am I sure I'm not talking to myself right now? And then after a while, I was like, you know what, just do your thing, man. I sat down at the chair in the studio before the show. I got to the studio 3 hours before my show. Like just trying to, like everything. I was just, and then when I was done by 7, I was like, oh my goodness, thank God, today's done. So he called me on a Sunday and said, what's up? I was like, good. He said, who was in the studio with me when I did my show? I said, it was Steve. And it was like, I should come see him on Monday. So I met him on Monday. He said, look, bro, you were the one who did us. I did the show live. And then Cool Coffee shook my hand. Look, I'll tell you something. If Cool Coffee tells you that what you're doing is, if he gives you thumbs up, just know that you've done it the right way. If he's a
real critic.
Oh my God. There's sometimes he critiques me. I hate that he's doing it, but I listen. And he still does it till this day. If he's in Kano and he's somewhere else and he hears me, he still calls me and says, what the hell? What was that? Like, I get scared. Like, till this day, I get scared when I see his call because I know him. And then when he tells you that you are messing up, best believe that you've done something wrong. He's not just going to criticize you because he feels like it. And then when you do something right, he calls you and he gives you thumbs up.
It feels amazing.
Like, when he shook my hand, I didn't know at the time. He shook my hand. I was like, okay, maybe this is something. He stood up and shook my hand. I didn't know what he meant. But years down the line, I was like, for real, he shook my hand. He gave me thumbs because there's so many jobs I did afterwards. He was sending me back. Megga, no, go back and do it. Go back. No, I'm not impressed. Squash everything. Delete it.
So like the more disapproval you get, the more you
girl, trust me. I was willing to let him know that I know what he wants me to do. And I kept on, I did not let him rest. I was giving him everything. So, okay, do, blah, 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 you know. So I did that. And then the next Saturday, he said, look, you've got the energy for radio. And he was like, I'll give you 2 hours. I was thinking to myself, yo, okay, from 6 to 7, he wants it 6 to 8. He said, yeah. He gave me the creative space and the independence. He says, do anything. Just let me know what you want to do beforehand. Let me know if it's radio friendly, and all that. But me, I've always been a cautious type, so I was not the type that would, you know. So I prepared for the show the first weekend, and then I did 2 hours. Trust me, it didn't feel like 2 hours. And I think it was in third show, when I started doing live shows, I started receiving messages and calls. In my mind, I was like, okay, yeah, I seem to be doing something right, you know? So, yeah.
How does it feel to be part of people's lives? Because I remember like 5-10 years ago, I listened to Cool FM so many times.
Yeah.
And then I hear that you pick people's calls and all of that. And I'm like, this person is like, your voice is literally in people's heads.
Yeah.
Like they can hear your voice and know this is Megga.
Yeah.
They've never seen you.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be that into people's lives and making that kind of impact?
Yeah, it's tough. It's extremely tough. It is demanding. And sometimes it can be depressing. Yeah, because do you realize that I mean, of course, I'm on radio, and I realize that I'm talking to different classes of people. There's the person who just lost a friend.
Yeah.
There's someone who's contemplating suicide. There's someone who's going to rob. There's a criminal somewhere. There's someone who's going to cheat someone. So it means that you have to be at a place where you cater for all of these people at the same time. I don't want to speak to A and then B feels offended. I don't want to speak to B and then A feels some type of way. So I have to ensure that we're all together. And the only thing I realized over the years is make radio a happy place for them. Give them a reason to just believe in life in general.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I say it is tough is because I try not to think about it because it's going to weigh me down mentally. So I just go there, I be like, okay, this is what I feel will be best for the general populace. This is what I want to give out, right? And then you don't really know the impact. You're just there talking and be like, how are you doing it? You're talking to yourself. You're talking to so millions of people. And like I said, you're talking to someone who is depressed. You're talking to people who have so many. So you don't really want to have that at the back of your mind.
You don't want to be misunderstood.
You don't want to be misunderstood. You don't want to be misinterpreted. You don't want to be taken out of context. So you have to be extremely careful with the words you make use of. I mean, the eye-opener for me was when I was at this mall in the city. And when I go to pay for stuff, I normally don't like talking too much because I sound the way I say, yeah. They be like, "Ah, that's it. Ah, this voice. I know this voice, you know. It's something that happens all the time. So I don't like talking too much because sometimes, you know, I just want to breeze in somewhere and breeze out. You know, okay, on radio, I'm the happy guy. But in real life,
you're very
yes, I'm sort of.
Yeah.
And I don't like too much, especially if we don't seem to have like a good
paddy relationship.
Yeah, if I don't know you that much, I can't see. Trust me, for someone else, I don't think I'll be this expressive because you're like family, right? I need to know you that well before we can start having conversations. So,
because people listen to you all the time, they feel like they know you, but you don't know them.
I don't know them, and sometimes they take it personally with me. Like, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I mean, we met. I literally would just see a fan. And then I go in the studio, I'm trying to present my show, and I see a message, Megga, I saw you as a super. I'm like, say hello. Like, I'm not the type of guy you say hello to, and then I'll be like, no, I don't know you and stuff. But if you're like, oh, no, you know, I don't want you to, I'm like, why did you do that? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, some people, like, when you're like a celebrity, right?
Oh, here we go.
Now, you know, it's not every celebrity that you can talk to.
True.
Yeah.
But then again, when I give you the impression of, hey, I'm here, yo, let's dap things up. Yeah, how you doing? We could exchange pleasantries. We don't have to sit and start talking and having conversations. So there was this one day I was at the counter, the cashier space. I was about to pay for stuff, and the line was unnecessarily long. And I was like curious, like how in the world do you have all of these points and then just
And
I was like, how are you suffering people? And I just made mention of like, bro, is it possible for us to have someone else who handle? And then it was done. They got someone else who, and then our line was split in two, and then we got out of there on time. Now, when I said what I said, there was a lady who was behind me. She waited for me to get into the other line, the other queue, and then she tapped me from the previous queue. I said, hello, am I Mr. Megga? Okay. At that point, I was about to lie.
But of course.
You know, sometimes these are instinct sounds. It's not like I really wanted to, you know. So I thought to myself, I said, look, I don't know why she's asking. I was like, okay, what did you see? That's when I asked. She was like, yeah, she's so sure that she heard the voice. I was like, yes, Mr. Megga. And then someone else from the line said, Mr. Megga with the double G. And then a lady told me, this is facts. The lady told me that it was a Saturday she was listening to me, that she was actually contemplating suicide.
Wow.
And she said she wasn't kidding. And guess how I started the show that day? I came through, rigged these plays between 12 and 1. I was done and I just came back. My speech band was just basically telling people, you know what, no matter what it is you've suffered in life, everything is going to be all right, okay? Have a happy place, put that smile on your face. It's not the end of the world. And I literally just said that because I felt like maybe someone needed to hear that, or that is just the beauty of putting people in a better place.
Yeah.
And she met me, she said, she recorded that thing, sounds.
Wow.
She played it back for me. She recorded it. So I'm thinking to myself, is it possible that she wakes up in the morning and then she plays it back?
It is.
Like, I really need to listen to this message. Like, there's a need for me to keep going. And it was just 1 minute and 30 seconds. But it saved a life. I felt, do you know when a burden is put on you? Like, and sometimes you wake up in the morning and you doubt if you will be able to continue. That's how I felt. And then over the next couple of weeks, it kind of like weighed on me because I just didn't want to fail people like that. You think what I'm saying? Like, what if I now say something and then the person just feels offended and then the person does something? Oh my God.
Yes.
Is this guy I listened to on radio that made me do this?
I never thought of it like that.
Girl, I did not as well until that day. And then I realized the magnitude of what we do. It was that when she called me, how strong it was. And then she said like she just felt that she smiled when I said those words, and then she started shedding away all of those things. And I was excited because I was like, I didn't know what to tell her because trust me, I'm no expert. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a guy who's telling you, okay, then I'm not a professional in that field, but I was excited because she was happy. And I'm like, hey, she's in a better place. Oh, this is beautiful. This is what I would this is what I want radio to feel like. If I can help people like this without necessarily knowing that I help them, because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It tells on you. Because I'm a freestyle type of guy. I go with vibe. If the energy is right, if the energy is positive, I'm positive. If it's negative, I will help you take it to negative. Like, Facts.
I would never bring negative energy.
For where now? You're all positive now. So if you give, I react to vibe. So I'm like, maybe like something will happen, and then I'm a negative spirit. I'm not gonna say something now. Something happen. So I said, okay, beautiful. Going forward, I designed my persona to be, life. We're not all perfect. Yeah, let's just have a good vibe. As keep it. If you have the bad vibe, not a problem. But I'm giving you good vibe. If the good vibes, I don't get that in return, then, we go to the deep end. But I will always want to be excited, want to see people smile and all that.
I'm really happy. I feel so connected to your transition from finding yourself to starting radio to realizing the consequences of being on radio and all of that. And before I ask you the next question, listeners, Mr. Megga almost let me forget this. Remember that Vogue Garden is still giving female tickets for every episode, so we'll tell you what to do to win this female tickets. Follow us on Instagram at Self Love Power Podcast to find out. Next question.
Here we go.
Because we're almost done.
Yeah.
I know if I continue talking to you, you can spend like the whole day.
I'm telling you, we just keep going.
Like you have amazing things to say, and I really love that.
Thank you.
The next thing I wanted to ask, for me as a creative, there are certain moments, honestly, that I feel a bit low because I want to create, but there's this critique in my head that is always saying, okay, you didn't do this right, you didn't do this well. And then I'm always thinking, okay, what does everybody think about what I just created? Yeah. How do you find a way out of those situations as a creative of not allowing everybody's voice just overshadow your originality?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think at this point I would love to speak to not just creatives, even like people in general. There's always going to be that voice in your head that is telling you, South, do it this way. MEGGA, do it this way. Know one thing for a fact. If you don't follow that voice, people will still have something to say. Critics don't stop. If you follow the voice, they will critique. If you don't follow the voice, they will still critique. So at the end of the day, think about it. What are you doing? I am definitely following that inner voice telling me this is it. So it's okay to feel low. We've all been in that place before. But what makes it, if you decide to stay there and remain there, that's the problem. For me, it's been, I'm not going to lie, it's been easy for me. What I do is there's this barrier that I create. It's unconscious. But I create the barrier in such a way that you can't get to me. I'll use my name as a perfect example. Now, when I was going to go on radio, I had an AKA. Because I had friends saying, you sound like an American. Dude, your name should be Brown, something like that. So I said, okay, I'm a genius. But let me call myself a white genius. That's what I had in mind initially. I see the sharp contrast between white and black. And I thought to myself, like, white genius. So when I'm on radio, they feel like white. They feel like, this guy is from Yankee. White, that thing. So I woke up one day and I was like, man, people are always calling me black. And trust me, they've trolled me because of my skin color. Yeah. They tell you, why are you this black? Like, with black.
Question.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like I had to, and they'll be like, you have a problem with it? Like, it's my skin color. I did not give myself this color. You dig what I'm saying?
Good on you.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. So what I did, I said, look, I would say black to you to the point where you believe that black is beautiful, whether you like it or not. So I put the black next to the genius.
Like, bam. See.
Boom, it's there. So what I'm saying to you is, you hear me say I'm the black genius. When you meet me, you see me, I'm dark. I'm like, yes, exactly.
You have nothing to say.
Didn't you listen? I told you I'm the black genius. And because some people still had problems with that, I said, chill. I will show you who is the black genius. Now, my black is not spelled B-L-A-C-K. My black is spelled B-L-A-K-K for a reason. For you to know that I'm actually blacker than black.
Just like the double G.
Exactly. I am not B-L-A-C-K. I am B-L-A-K-K. Emphasis on the black. So when you see me, you be like, oh, he's dark. I'll be like, exactly. When you pay, I told you, So that's one way. I mean, it's in the name. So I don't, when they see me, be like, yeah, that's what you get. So creatives will always, and I feel like the best part of you comes when you are in your low. I have been in that position before, and trust me, what I just do is I blank everything out and I retreat back into my inner space. If I'm coming out again,
You're coming out.
you know that I'm like the initial energy I had, I am topping that like real quick. So then again, not all creatives have this ability to bounce back, ability to say, okay, this is where I'll put a stop to it, right? Look for what makes you happy, genuinely, outside of what has pushed you into that dark space. There's always going to be something. No, there's just that little, no matter how little it is. And when you find it, you protect it like your life depends on it.
Because it does.
It does, because people will want South to be back up. Like, where is she? What's up with her? You know. And then when you have that at the back of your mind, you're like, there are actually people who are waiting for me to get this done. I am letting someone down. Think about it, and you're like, someone legitimately, like genuinely wants to hear me talk. Someone needs this right now. So you're thinking, I can't be in this place, right? I have to serve those people. Even if just 2 people. Like, you could just have a conversation with them and then boom, you're back up. True. Now, as a rapper, there's something we call writer's block.
Yeah.
Writers go through something like that. You're writing and you pause, you be like, man,
no ideas.
No ideas. You're thinking to yourself, this one doesn't sound like the last one. It does. You're like, duh, let me go back. Oh my goodness, I just wrote the same thing. It happens. But then you find something else that pushes you out of that place, that makes you see what you're doing in a different light. Maybe you approach it from a different perspective, and then you see the beauty in it again, and then boom, you're back at it. And hopefully there are some people who snap out of that, who push out of that, that dark space, make it out, and they never go back. Because they've normalized it. Like, you can't push me back there. The moment I feel like I'm going back there, before I get back there,
it's like getting to rock bottom.
Yeah, the only way is up. So you're like, I'm not going back there. Before you push me down there, I realize where I'm going to end. I realize that's not where I'm supposed to be. So I gotta push.
I forgot one question that was supposed to be the first question.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Oh wow, my name is Suleiman Bello, by the way.
Ooh.
Yes, Suleiman Bello.
Wow.
Middle name Adoga.
What does that mean?
Adoga means okay. No, literally it means Suleiman. It's like you have, how do I put it? When you have people around you, people who surround you for no reason, you don't know why, but then you just have, it's like a king. Do you know what's an Adogan in our language? Okay, let me break it down for you. It's this stuff they use in preparing, that they use in rural communities. I don't know if you've seen it before. Okay. You put charcoal, you must have seen it now.
Yes.
You put charcoal inside that has the three
legs.
Good. So I'm the third child. So according to my dad said, look, you cannot use the Adogan with one stand. The pot will not be able to rest on it. So if you put like 2, very good.
What holds up?
Yes. So it's like you get balance with the third child. So that is the Adogan. And then it also means Adogai. Adogai means like you're surrounded. So it means like you're not going to lack people being around you, basically.
Your name follow you, Sha.
I think it does. Yeah. Like when I was having a conversation with my dad, I was like, I don't know what you were doing when you named me, but kind of.
Have that thing.
Yeah, they do, So yeah, so that's the name. Yeah.
So like 2 questions left.
Okay.
The other question I wanted to ask is, I want you to prep me a little, like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let's say I want to go into radio.
Okay.
How do you know what a radio person should sound like? How do you know if this person is meant for radio?
Okay.
Is there a way I'm supposed to speak? A certain accent? Let's do something.
Okay. Now, of course, you're not new to the media space. You're not. I've seen a couple things that you've done. So I won't say you're new per se. You know the basics.
Yeah.
You know the basics, right? The only thing I'll add is the fact that the accent thing, you don't have to have an accent. Speak as yourself, one, and if you can communicate, you're good. The accent thing is just, look.
It's just spice.
Yes, I'm an actor. So that means
accent. I wanted to ask.
Yes, I'm an actor. That's what I mean. I'm an actor. So that means I could speak pidgin, and you'd be like, "Oh my goodness, which this guy was just talking." It's acting. It's not like
you studied abroad or something.
Exactly. Now people tell me that, and I tell them, you know, when you're restricted from going out, you are indoors. What do you watch? I mean, I don't. No offense. I did not watch Nigerian movies. I did not watch Nigerian everything. Everything was foreign for me. I was watching Black American movies. I was watching Sky One back then. I was watching Eurosport. That was the content I was consuming. And then when I got into music, I wasn't listening to Nigerian music as well. I was listening to foreign music, you know. So all of those things kind of like cultured me into how I sound today. So there's a bit of you that has maybe touched some lives, right? Or touched different parts of sound, like Mr. MEGGA. To be a presenter, no. Number two, I will always say this. That's the accent thing. Number two, please understand the style of a radio station. The in-house style of a radio station is just as important as anything. Because I can't sound like this and go to a house or radio station.
True.
I can't sound like this. Matter of fact, I can't sound like this and go back to the radio station that I worked for initially. I can't sound like this and go back. There's going to be a mismatch. So know the radio station. You have to know the in-house style of that radio station. And then if you can carve yourself into the in-house style, fantastic. If you're not going to be able, if you won't be able to do it, just let it be. Number three, you need to know who you are speaking to. If I were to be having a conversation with an elderly person, I most likely wouldn't sound the way I'm sounding right now.
Yeah.
I have to be able to convince that person. So know who you are speaking to. Cool FM, for example, we speak to millennials, we speak to Gen Zs. So that means there's a certain way you have to sound in order for you to connect. Certain words you should use, certain even mannerisms, even like the way you look, the way you everything. It has to be, you know. At some point, yeah, you know. I'm still, trust me. To some Gen Zs, I'm still adjusting. I still don't know them that much because there's some of their songs that they listen to. I'm like, okay, what are you guys?
Yeah, they are pretty complicated.
They are, but then they hate admitting it. You know, there's some Gen Z, you tell this to Sals and they'll be like,
we're offended.
I'm sorry. We're not good, you know. So I understand. So I'm also trying to understand them. So sometimes I sit with them. I have, you know, so many young people around me. So I have conversations with them. I try to see where their mind is at because I probably will be sounding like the 90s when they're in the 2000s and you're talking to them. So you're not sounding like the 90s. If you're in a radio station that caters to people who were born many years ago, it means that you have to speak to them. You have to play their type of music. Someone who was born in the 90s, for example, you can't be playing, and you know that is your core audience. You can't play a Tekashi 6ix9ine for them.
I don't even know that.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
okay.
It's not funny.
Now Gen Zs are going to come for you. Somebody needs to create a playlist. Please, you know. So you're playing 90s music, you want to play Tupac for them. You want to play Aaliyah for them. They'll be like, oh, that's my jam. Yeah, but that's what they can relate to. So know who your audience is. And number four, please be authentic. There isn't a listener anywhere in the world who cannot pick you being fake. They are experts at knowing when you are fake and when you are not. Trust me, there's some people that listen and they be like, no. And there's this put off that they have. For some people, it is natural. They feel like me, for example, they don't believe this is who I am outside radio. They will see me and be like, Mr. MEGGA. And then when I have a conversation, they'll be like, man, the guy sounds the way he sounds. I'll be like, okay, it's not intentional, but it just so happens that that's how I sound on radio. So, quote, I'm not forming. This is how I communicate. This is where my mindset is at. So it's not, so be authentic. If your F's are not well pronounced, it is very okay. As far as that is who you are.
And people can understand.
People can relate. Trust me, you are good. Then number 5, I think it's the passion. Please, we are getting to a point where it is not important what you read. It is what you can do. If you can get the job done. If you don't have a passion.
Yeah.
If you woke up one morning and you're like, should I do radio? If the passion is not there, because trust me, there's sometimes that how much you are being paid will not be able to save you.
Yeah.
The number of fans you have on social media will not be able to pull you out of that dark place. Your passion will be the only thing that will keep you going.
True.
I've worked without being paid countless number of years. I can't even count.
I agree.
I mean, money, at that point in time, I just wanted to do it. I was just excited about doing it. Like, the passion was there. When I started my 2-hour show, I was there on Saturdays, like, early. I just wanted to move. Yeah? Going back to that story, by the way, when I was on Dala FM, Cool Coffee told me that you end up in Cool FM. I don't think I've ever said this before.
Because you sounded like a full
He was like, look,
material.
he told me, he said, look, did you know for a fact that, Cool FM will definitely come? He told me because he said, look, my energy is not, no offense to where I was, but he knows this, that it will be only a matter of time before, I make,
MEGGA, I beg.
yeah.
I would love to meet him.
So
For
you
real.
have to. I have to have a conversation with him. He needs to be here. Ask him his journey. Like, you are going to have
The best
enough content. Like, and he loves creatives. He loves young people. That's one thing I like. I mean, he met me and said, was it last year? It was like, are you doing anything on the side, like a podcast? I said, no. He said, why?
You should.
And I was like, yo. I didn't want to tell him that, man, I have a couple things that I'm trying to juggle up,
You just want him to see the...
Yeah, he was like, no, that, I hope I know that's something that I need to be doing. And I was like, man, yeah, I told him, boss, I would try and, but man,
Yeah, but we'll like, I think we'll keep talking about that. I'm
Yeah.
really glad. I would be happy to see you do something, like a podcast or something. People want to listen to you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm scared. I'm like, you sure want to listen to this dude right here? But you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm just, in the air. So yeah, about your radio, that's what I would tell any upcoming radio person. And then it's important again. Let me just quickly add this. You can hone your skills outside of radio. You don't have to be on radio to be ready.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities, so many platforms. I mean, I see young creatives who reach out to me and say, Baba, what's up? I want to be on radio. What's up, Mr. MEGGA? What's out there? Then I tell them, I say, look, I'll advise them, go and start your own thing.
Yeah, radio is not really
It's not. Start your own thing, and then you could transition into radio. Over the last couple of years, it will surprise you to know that some of the radio presenters we've had actually came from the podcast world. Someone listen and be like, okay, you know what? I'll twitch this here, and this guy will be good for radio.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's like what I'm hoping to do with this show. Like for the next season, I'm hoping that we can have like a really big sponsor.
Yeah.
Because I see like there are a lot of these things, but there's nothing like this in the north. So I'm hoping that it can go somewhere.
My goodness, look, I will always, you guys, I love the north. I'm not from around here, but then I feel like I am here. And anytime I travel to Lagos and I have a business meeting with some of these brands, they're always telling me, man, are you sure you're from Kano? I say, yes. The way I speak to them, they look at me like, bro, are you sure? I'd be like, yes, I'm from Kano.
Yeah.
So I realized that it's surprising to some of them. And I'm like, why do you guys...
There's a stereotype already.
Yeah. So I'm telling them, look, do this with Northern Nigeria and see what happens. Like, let me suggest to you ways by which you could, reach out, and you'll be shocked at the number of people because there's a certain way they see the North that is tough for you to change. No offense to my Lagos people, but you know what I'm talking about. So when I come to you and I'm suggesting something to you, you're thinking that this is the only thing that could work up north, and I'm telling you, no. There's a market for this. Allow me to show you how to tap into this,
Yeah.
So, and I feel like, again, no offense to the North, I feel like we're not selling ourselves the way we should be. There's so many. I'm excited now. It's
So
getting
many
better.
talents.
It's getting better. I'm seeing, young entrepreneurs. I'm seeing podcasts. I'm seeing vlogs. I'm beginning to see more people. trust me, I randomly check YouTube. And sometimes, you fall into the rabbit hole. You're watching a video and like, okay, what was I?
Yeah.
And I realized that I've stumbled across like 6, 7, 8 different pages that are run by, young northern, people who are based here, who have YouTube channels. They have very interesting content to share with the world, So I'm like, yes. Even though I feel like we're not there yet, but then again, we're getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, because, okay, you're having a conversation with someone and tell someone, there are some songs that you play in Lagos, for example, that we're almost done with the songs here. They don't believe it. And someone was telling me, if I bring Naira Marley to Kano, will people come and watch him? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, for real. Like, just chill. And it was because of the whole COVID-19 restrictions that, kind of like didn't make that happen. But I was like, when we're done, I said, you'll be shocked.
Very shocked.
You will be shocked. And I actually wanted it to happen to pass a message. Like, see it happen and you'll be like, oh my goodness. So these are the numbers that we're talking about. So, again, I feel like let's sell ourselves a bit more.
Yeah.
We're in the north and we know this place more than they do. No offense, Lagos is where it's happening. Abuja is where decisions are made.
Yeah, things are happening here.
Yes.
We're not like...
we need to be the ones to show them the possibilities that are up here. And I think that's what I've been doing over the, like, say, 3 years. Because anytime I'm in Lagos, anytime I have a leave, quick one, I go over there. Of course, you can have conversations over the phone, on Skype and all of that. But then they will still need you to be around. And I tell them, this is what I think. This is where I think you should go. Because marketing stuff has gone beyond just marketing to a general populace. No. Let's market narrowly.
And reach the target.
And reach the target. Your brand will benefit more. So I'm saying, okay, I need young, vibrant, creative people in Sals's clique, for example. What do I sell to them? You'll be shocked. Look, you'll be shocked if you were to sell something that Sals will love. Sals and you'll be shocked the number of people who are like Sals who would buy into what you're selling. And don't just see the North as a place where people cannot speak English language.
People feel like it's like a jungle.
Yeah, So you and then you have to work twice as hard to convince someone, because there's someone sitting somewhere who says, yeah, are you taking it to Kano? Put your outside language and send it there.
Because he's using the knowledge he had 20 years ago.
Yes. So I feel like I won't give up. And I have not given up.
Yeah.
The push is still on, because I'm letting them know that, look, number one, the world is actually moving away from that mentality. Almost everyone has a smartphone today.
True.
Our dads that were hardcore before, they now know how to operate WhatsApp.
My mom would be like, show me this thing on WhatsApp.
Exactly.
How do I send an emoji and
what does that tell you? It's shifting. The first time I really had that like awakening was when I had a conversation with Mufti Menk when he was in Kano.
Oh, you met him?
Yes, I think it was in was it 2017? Oh, he's a great guy.
I love him.
Yo, he saw me a day before and we kind of like had a conversation. I had him on radio. I had an interview. When we're done, he shook my hand and then he said, "Oh, that was straight to the point. I loved it. I enjoyed it." I said, "Boom, thanks." And then the next day at the event, he saw me. He waved. He was literally waving at me, and I had everyone at the edge looking at me like,
who is
bruh.
This?
And I was like, yo, Mufti Meg just waved. I was like, yo. No, I didn't do that.
Of course.
So, nice guy. I had a conversation with him when he was done, and he told me how that he does not target the older generation.
True.
He told me, like, that's not what he does. He realized that there's a way he passes his message that the younger ones can relate. Trust me, I've seen Christians who have this guy's content, who has this guy's material. They listen to him every now and then. And he was like, that's not his target audience. And then I did an interview after his event. And then I was curious because from what he said, and I said, let me ask the older people who were present at the venue. Hello, how are you doing? I'm fine. How did you know about Mufti Mek in Kano? My daughter. And I check, where's your daughter? Daughter is 16. 17. And I said, yo, so what does this mean? It means that at the time, the older generation quite didn't buy into Mufti Menk. But guess what? It was the younger generation
That we're pushing
that
him.
was selling
Yeah.
the idea. So I'm like, and we trust me, the younger generation are more. When
They're more
millions,
they're more
yes,
active.
they're more active. Now, it's gotten to a point where these parents are saying, South, don't always come and be showing me on the phone. I want to have mine, so put it on my phone. Let me see.
Yeah.
And I asked, there was a lady I asked, I said, yeah, I mean, to find out, how did you get here? She said, her daughter. How did your daughter? She said her daughter showed her Mufti Menk's video on her phone. Like the mother didn't even have like a smartphone. She had this little, the one that I can call with and end call, and she can't even text. Just call me. I know this is say hello.
Yeah.
And she said the daughter showed her, this is the person that is coming to Kano. She had never heard about him before. And I was like, wow. And the younger generation were able to pull them here. That is a strategy. And he was very open about the fact that, look, this is where the numbers are. And these are the people who need this message every now and then.
Like instead of targeting 1% of 100%, he's targeting 100 of 100%.
100 of 100. Then, see what he does. When he gets that demography running, he can now poach from the older generation. If the older ones join in, not a problem. If they don't, I'm okay. So I'm trying to tell them that is how you present whatever it is that you're presenting, And thanks to some of the brands who have listened to me, who are fortunate enough to say, okay, MEGGA, let's see how we can do. Yeah, because I work at a radio station that speaks English language. I'm not going to be in Lagos selling something else. I have to be in Lagos selling a radio station that speaks English language. So I'm in meetings with some of these people and telling them, okay, this is what we can go with this, So yeah, kudos to some of them. It's tough, for people to still believe it. But then I know what the North can do. Yeah. I've been to some events. Trust me, I go to some events just to see, to observe. And I study the age, the age grades. Okay, how old could the person be? Why is this person here? What are they doing? I don't go there. Yeah, that you don't do that.
No, that you're talking about age.
Yeah, exactly. No, men looking, I'm sure you'll be able to guess. And be like, okay, he's within this age range. If I were to be someplace, you dig. So I go somewhere and be like,
off cam, you
of course, 18. Camera better not be rolling, no. It should be like, don't cut it off, keep it going. So I want the North to have that confidence. It's been a couple of years that they've been pushed to the rear. They feel like, okay, the only thing they can do is this. The only thing they can do is that. No, show them something else. I'm working on so much. Like I want them to materialize before I can even come and say, this is what I'm working on. I'm working on so much because, when you're the underdog, you have to do so much proving. Extra. And then before someone says, okay, let's go with this. Oh my goodness. Takes a long, someone has to, and trust me, has to go through a process. And there's someone somewhere who sees it and says, nah, this can fly. And then you are back to square one. But trust me, the number of times, if you were to count the number of times I've been told no, and trust me, the yeses are small. But guess what? I don't give up.
The yeses are strong.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And when I say a yes, I don't mess around with the yes. I work with the yes. I put my behind into it to ensure that it's done because I have a point to prove. Yeah. So that's that about that.
Mr. MEGGA, thank you so much for coming today. Last question.
I'm with you.
It's a signature question.
Okay.
The name of this podcast is Self, Love, Power.
Okay.
There's a reason. It's because we feel like these three things are what define life. Yourself, who you love, what you love, what empowers you.
Nice.
If you had to choose one,
okay,
which one would you choose and why?
Between self, love,
power.
And power. Take power out of it. Yeah. Okay. Take power out of it because I wouldn't want power, by the way. If it comes, fine, but I don't want it. So it's not something I would pick willingly. If it comes, I don't even want to be aware of power, of me having that much power because you're most likely going to abuse it. I mean, no offense. I've seen fans who tell me, Mr. MEGGA, you're the best in the world. You do so much. And I don't reply to them. I don't want to be soaked in there.
Yeah.
Because it gets, it is. And it gets to you. So I'd be like, I don't even want you to talk about it. As people say, hey, he's trying to be humble and stuff. There's a reason why I'm doing it. I don't really want to be in that. Just let me do my job. It's a job that I'm doing, so I just want to be focused there. Yes, the accolades will come. Thank you so much. Keep it going. I don't want to, dwell on that.
Too much.
So yeah.
So
Self and love. By the way, both of them put together self-love. So it's even tough.
No, I think
One word. I can't match them.
no.
Oh my goodness. So it has to be one. Okay, let's see. Oh man, I love love. Oh, but I think I'll go with self.
Why?
I think I'll go with self because it is a starting point for anything. You can't even love if you are not self-conscious. If you don't know yourself, love is going to fail. If you've been in a relationship, you've been in a relationship where with an ex where you've not healed, you're still going through that. I'm not sure of myself. Do I go into another one? Do I try something else? The love is going to fail. Self, and I'm a strong believer of work on yourself. I worked on myself, so I'm focused inward because people look at you and they don't really understand. You are like, when you've loved yourself so much, you are confident, you do it, and people be like, my goodness, how does he do it? Yes. So I love you to be in that space of, my goodness, how did he pick this word? How did this? Yeah, how did he do this? So yeah, so I'll be more focused. It's a very tough one though. I would love to pick love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love, very, very key, but
Self.
I think, self comes first and then love and then power. That's how it's arranged, eh? Really decent.
Maybe. Let me not give it away.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cool stuff.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. This is Mr. Megga with the double G.
Thank you. Mwah.
Follow us on Instagram at Self Love Power. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify. And follow Mr. Megga.
Yes. You can check me out on Instagram. It's at The Black Genius. The Black is spelled BLAKK. Where else? On Twitter. Hopefully it's back. But since it isn't, as soon as Twitter is back up, it's still at The Black Genius, BLAKK Genius. If you're in Kano, you can just simply listen to me. I'm the host of The Road Show every weekday between 3 and 8 p.m. and then the Saturday afternoon groove. The dial is 96.9 Cool FM. In case you're not in town, you could just simply download the application, the Cool FM app, or you can log on to www.coolfm.ng and get to listen to me live. Thank you.
Wow. He just did like a Cool FM outro.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have to.
I need to learn that.
For real? Learn what?
I have to do
The outro thing?
Yeah.
Let's do it right now. So what information you want to pass across?
I don't know, just
Self-love.
yeah.
Self-love power.
Self Love Power podcast.
Okay. Okay, you already signed out, yeah?
I signed out.
You did,
but
yeah.
It wasn't as tush as yours.
Oh wow. That's gonna be tough. Okay. First things first. Tell them to follow self-love. What are some of the visions and missions, by the way? I'm just curious now at this point.
To inspire, enlighten, and
Nice. Work around that and let's see.
My intro is, hi guys, looking for that comfy space where you can connect to the most inspiring, enlightening, and extremely relatable topics on personal growth. We've got you covered right here on Self Love Power Podcast.
Nice. Not bad.
Not bad.
You did it. I heard it. It was cool. Yeah, but your outro wasn't bad. Yeah, it wasn't, but I don't even know where I want to start from. If what I just did, if you ask me to repeat, I don't think I'll be able to. Maybe I'll change a couple words around,
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll get there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Number one, understand what you're doing and embrace it in totality. Yes. Sal's Self Power Love Podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for listening or for watching. I appreciate you. Follow us on socials. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something like that. All right. Let's give it a shot again. Let's see. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm not in the right place. You made me laugh too much. Bye, guys.